Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next portion of the Terrorizing Creep Show. Aliens, monsters, and the supernatural. A true story of a terrorized life. The little monster whom terrorized me at night was the majority of my childhood experiences. Almost always there every night, just stalking at my bedside. I do recall seeing the little monster less and less, as I started seeing the grays more and more. I also recall being put in danger one day by an odd type of gray. It's the middle of the day. I was awoken from a nap. A hand holds my leg just above my left ankle. The small hand feels soft, but the grip is tight. I look down at my feet and scream loudly. I see my terrorized reflection in its large black eyes. This entity, whom holds me with no emotion, looks like a typical gray at first glance, but its skin has more of a shiny blue tone than a gray one. Its head is pointed in the back instead of widened. It has the same facial features of a gray, but the shape and size of its body holds subtle differences. The body of this humanoid is not disproportional to its head. Other than the cone head appearance, its head matches up with its body. I don't stop screaming. I try to pull away from the frightening entity at no avail. As I slide further towards the head of the bed, the entity slides with me, not letting go. Finally, I act on instinct and start kicking the entity with my free foot. He holds his free hand up to block my kicks, but his movements are awkward. The entity lets go and jumps down from the bed. I watch it run up the hallway. It goes through the kitchen and out the back door. I watch the creature through the open back door. As I stand in the hallway, I see it make its way across the garden and into the woods behind the house. The entity turns his head to give me one last look before disappearing into the woods. I scream for my mother. The house is filled with silence. I go from room to room looking for anyone. I scream up the stairs and get no response. I continue my search outside. I am still shaken from what just unfolded, and now my frightened state is getting worse. There is not a trace of a single person. I go outside to continue my search. I wander further away from the house into an open field. I hear a rumbling sound and I feel the ground vibrating. The vibrations become stronger. I look behind me to find where the rumbling sound is coming from. It's a stampede of cattle, and they are coming right towards me. I am a very tiny child, but had I not just been filled with horror inside the house, I would have my wits about me. If this happened any other time, I would simply get out of the way. But instead of getting myself to safety, I just stand here, my little body crouched in fear with tears streaming down my face. I can see my family now coming over the hill next to the cattle. The cattle have gotten out, and everyone is pitching in to get them back where they belong. I hear my mother scream my name from across the field. Her voice is panicked. She is too far away to save me. I'm frozen in place, looking through my tears at the herd of cattle almost upon me. I feel myself get swooped up. I am being carried across the field to my father's van. I hear my oldest brother say to me, You all right? I got you. I noticed the herd of cattle change direction. Someone had changed the direction of the stampede so it would not have made it to me. But my brother was still my hero. Safely in my mother's arms, she expressed how surprised she is that I woke up. She doesn't question why I seem so mortified. She must assume it's from the cattle. But I wasn't thinking about cows. I was looking into the woods, trying to spot the creature that almost got me killed. I never told anyone about what woke me that day. I imagine as my family reads my testimonies, they will recall some of these events. Some of these experiences in this book I have told over and over, but I think the experiences I have told my family about will have more light shown on them by this book. I have never told anyone about these experiences in as much detail as this book is providing. Recalling these events so vividly is digging up the past to haunt me. I would be lying if I said writing this had no effect on me. Often as I write some of these scenes, I have to take moments to pause. I pause to let the chills pass down my spine, or give the hair on my neck time to relax again. I have most certainly been having nightmares since I have started work on this book. Not to mention the strange things happening that caused me to stop writing for any amount of time. It has been a task just to stay focused at times. It seems like when I get in my mode and nothing can hinder my writing, I get a call or a knock at the door, something or someone needing my attention. I have even had my laptop turn off on its own. Some of these things seem laughable, but I have been writing for years. I know personally a writer can very easily be taken off task. Sometimes a simple distraction can cost an entire writing session, not to mention all the other tasks that correlate to a manuscript. One must make chapter outlines, verify sources, and make notes, interview people on the topics of the story. These things can even be said about a work of fiction. So when trying to give a true testimony of events, it can start to seem like a full-time job. I'm explaining all this to point out the powers that be. There is a supernatural power at work, one that would have my testimonies crushed, never to see the light of day. Not for what the testimonies give witness to, but for the means in which they will end. 25 plus years of hard work down the drain. These entities put so much time and effort into the story I would tell someday. Now I tell the opposite version of what they wanted. By the time I give my final testimony, the truth will be revealed. I know my story will not change the minds of everyone. Some people are trapped in their deception. Others turn a blind eye to any truth because they are caught up in the fantasy of it all. Even so, I do what I must. It is my hope that my stories are heard in full and awaken as many as possible to the truth.